So Shitter, I heard you got first place. What are you playing?
First off, no. What was the question?
What are you playing?
Restart.
No, fuck
Restart.
that. No, we don't edit shit. What'd you win? What'd you get first place with?
I played fish.
Badass.
Sure.
Sick.
Okay. Bryce, you gotta get better at this.
No, fuck that, bro. Hey, show us the profile, gamer.
Starting with hand traps, 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Gamma with the driver.
Low rarity for the emotional damage.
I only play low rarity hand traps. Everything else can be high rarity. This deck is not high rarity, but yeah. This is only in here because I hate losing to it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Right,
For the actual ghoti, or nope. The main engine that you play is the Supe Duskwalker. The quicker you get into the level 6 synchro, the faster you end up winning because it turns on your entire deck. So this is basically just a free one.
Yeah, those cards are actually cracked.
For the actual fish, you play 3 of the little squid guy, 2 of the angel, and then 2 of the beta.
So what do these actually do?
So these on field, they banish to summon any fish from your hand, and then during the standby phase after they are banished, they summon to the field. This one, you banish from the grave to target a water monster and it gains 500 attack, and then during the standby phase, it summons itself back. And then these are quick synchros if they're on the field using themselves. This one is kind of bad. If it's banished during your opponent's turn, it immediately summons, and then as soon as it summons, it immediately synchro summons.
They're all kind of bad.
Shut up. It's pretty much just in here to turn some of your cards into hand traps that let you go into big things.
Neat.
You play 2 of the big octopus. He's basically your hand trap. When he's special summon, you target a card your opponent controls and banish it when it would leave the field. And then you can end up summoning him during either player's turn by banishing 2 fish-type monsters from either your hand or your grave during the main phase. He's pretty much how you end up triggering the beta. I play 1 of this guy. He's pretty bad. I don't play any other traps, so his whole banish effect doesn't matter. What matters is if a fish is banished, then you summon him from your hand. So you end up using the field spell, banish a fish, search him, and then he triggers. 3 of the best card, which is Lifeless Leaf Fish. This ends up dumping usually the angel, because then you trigger the angel, banishing it to gain, and then during your opponent's turn, this summons and you go for your 6 and then play from there. 3 Abyss Shark. More times than not, this is just used to search Lifeless Leaf Fish. I play 2 XZs, only 1 I can actually use this with. Other than that, it's pretty much just used to link away. You end up getting locked into waters, which kind of sucks at times, but most of your extra deck is water anyway. I play 2 Hopier Squadron. A lot of times you lose to Dark Ruler and Imperms and Droplets and things like that for your tuners, and so being able to quick effect this and have them not be able to really touch this and still synchro is pretty strong. At one point I was going to play 3, but I can only find 2, and I don't know if I'll actually put it back up. For spells, I play 3 Crossout Designator, not really because of the hand traps, but more because I can call one of my tuners, banish it, and then during the standby phase, since this is only for the turn, it summons out, so it's kind of just another...
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, it's basically Gold Sark that can turn off hand traps if I actually run into hand traps.
Do you play Gold Sark?
No.
Interesting.
It doesn't. So this has 2 meanings between it being a quick play that I can use on my opponent's turn to banish stuff, and being able to turn off hand traps, where Gold Sark really doesn't do anything since none of my stuff activates until the next turn anyway.
Interesting.
3 E-Telly for the Gammas. Being able to go for the level 6 synchro and then immediately synchro it off is pretty strong, and I'll get to that later. And then 2 of the Field Spell. The Field Spell is pretty cool. The dumb fact is if you control a synchro fish monster, then it can't be destroyed or banished. But more importantly, you can banish a fish from your hand or from your graveyard to search a ghoti fish monster. And then if this is in your graveyard and you normally are special summon a fish type monster, you can banish a fish type monster you control to add it to your hand. That's it for the main deck. It's just 40. For the extra deck, the 2 XZs you play, Stealth Kragan because it's a number and it actually can do some stuff. Dweller because you kind of need to play Dweller this format. It's kind of hard to go into now that I've dropped the level 4 ghoti to 1, but just in case.
Do you do the Gozenlock with the Kragan at all?
No. This almost never happens. Usually I just link away the shark. For the links, you play 1 elf, which comes every once in a while. You play a lot of 2s. not very often, but if you need to go into something. And then one Abyss Keeper. This is one of the things that you can end up going into pretty quickly using Abyss Shark, because you summon a water, you summon the Abyss Shark, search your lifeless leaf fish, link this, when it's linked summon, you summon the fish from your hand, so you summon the lifeless and continue playing from there. It also has an effect where you can banish one fish type monster it points to and one card your opponent controls. Doesn't happen, it never survives. For synchros, you play 2 of the level 6. This card does kind of everything that you need it to. When it's synchro summon, you banish a fish type monster from your deck, or fish monster from your deck. And then when it's sent to the grave as sync material, you target a fish in your grave, banish it, and then search any fish type monster with a level equal to or lower than. So it grabs you any of the other cards you need to be able to go for your squid plays, or it can even search your Abyss Shark, which is kind of cool. For the 8s, you play 2 of whatever this one is. People keep playing only one thing, and that's not that good. I think they're insane. This card is truly the best synchro that you can go into. When it's synchro summoned, you target one fish type monster you control and one card your opponent controls and banish both. And then if this card's banished, you banish a fish type monster from your grave to summon it back. So it's really just there to...
Once per turn?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you end up using it, bringing it back, and then end up getting rid of it probably on that same turn going into the big guys, and then you can end up banishing it from your graveyard later and bring it back and go for game later.
Yeah, it's kind of like a spicy Brucalis.
Yeah, and since the easiest thing for you to go into on your opponent's turn are level 8 synchros, being able to go into this and disrupt things is pretty strong. You do play one of the other level 8. I've never actually made this. The theory behind it is if you need to go into a level 8 synchro to get over something, but still need to have access to Askin on your opponent's turn, you go for this, and then during the standby phase, if all the materials that you use for him are in the graveyard, you end up either banishing him or putting him back. You banish it and then you summon them, and then banish them when they leave the field. So you end up going for this, bringing out the same monsters, and then being able to Askin. It never happens, you never need it. 1 white or a whale. This card's insane.
Broken.
Because Snopios has the effect where you can target a card and banish it when it leaves the field. This basically does the same thing that Askin does for monsters, but it also will banish all or destroy all their other attack position monsters on synchro summon. And then if this card is destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the grave, you banish a fish type monster to summon it back as a tuner. That part doesn't matter. What really matters is you banish more fish cards, so you keep playing. Also, it can attack 2 monsters during each battle phase and inflicts piercing. I play 1 Dragite. It's kind of hard to go into unless you're going into a level 8 on your turn, which if you get enough setup, it's pretty easy, but this is usually what your go-to is, just to be able to turn off some kind of disruption. And also 3000 is the biggest level 8 that you play. For the level 10s, I play 2 Deep Beyond. You could argue only playing 1, however, when you do get into certain matchups in the grind, a lot of decks can just put out a lot of resources really quickly, and so being able to go into 1 and then go into another one later on is important. What it does is if it's summoned on your opponent's turn, it banishes all cards on the field, including itself. And then during the standby phase, if it was banished, you summon it back, and it gains 500 attack for every banished monster.
Maju 2.
This just gets really big. What happened a lot today is a bunch of tier players are putting out big boards, banish the entire board, summon this back with 6,500, and then just kept swinging. I also play 1 Chinging. This deck does nothing but banish, so why wouldn't I play this?
This card's dumb.
Yeah. And then I play the Baron. A lot of people don't play the Baron, but I had an extra spot, so I played the Baron.
Have you thought about playing like a left-hand shark and Cook?
No.
All right then.
It defeats the purpose. This is a synchro-centric deck. Playing more XZs that really don't, or more cards that XZs doesn't really do me any good.
Do you have any spicy plays that went on today?
I board wiped tier player 3 times in a turn.
Was it Bauer?
I actually don't know. I think it was.
Good.
Do you think you've solved the deck?
No. There's no solving this deck because this deck is bad.
Hey man, if it wins, it's not bad.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, man. Congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah.